All right, y'all. I am back. I want to apologize. I was having a lot of technical difficulties. I had to take a deep breath. I had to take a step back because, again, y'all, I haven't been in front of the camera. It's been months, but I'm here now. I'm here. I'm back. I'm ready. Let's do this. Like, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. Like, let's do this now. We got it. We got it. We got it. We got it. We got some action over here, y'all. All right. So, y'all, welcome back to the Black Girl Interrupted podcast. No, tonight it is not the official, but just a little soft launch. A story came across my heart, came across my timeline, and I definitely wanted to step in tonight and I wanted to discuss it. Um, as you guys know, y'all know I advocate for the Black community, for Black men, Black women, Black boys, and Black girls, especially when it comes to police brutality. So when I saw this story come across my timeline the other day, I was like, I've got to get back in front of the camera. I have to talk about this. I have to address this issue. It just would not be befitting of me if I didn't step in and speak on tonight's topic. So nothing has changed with Black Girl Interrupted. Y'all know I always do my mental health check-ins. I want to know how everybody's doing. Y'all drop in the comments. Let me know how y'all are doing mentally. How are you doing emotionally? How are you doing spiritually? Y'all, let me take a deep breath. My anxiety just went through the roof, but I'm here. I'm good. Um, in a better mental space. So hence I'm here tonight. But y'all already know how I get things started. I always play a video to encourage, to uplift, to empower someone that may or may not be going through something. But just to let you know that I got your back. I'm here anytime you need me. So just hold tight. Let me go ahead and roll this video, and then we're going to jump into tonight's conversation.
Sometimes you need to get knocked down before you can really figure out what your fight is and how you need to fight it. Sometimes you need to feel the pain and sting of defeat to activate the real passion and purpose that God predestined inside of you. God says in Jeremiah, I know the plans I have for you. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. Hear me well on this day. This day when you have reached the hilltop and you are deciding on next jobs, next steps, careers, further education. You would rather find purpose than a job or a career. Purpose crosses disciplines. Purpose is an essential element of you. It is the reason you are on the planet at this particular time in history. Your very existence is wrapped up in the things you are here to fulfill. Whatever you choose for a career path, remember the struggles along the way are only meant to shape you for your purpose. When God has something for you, it doesn't matter who stands against it. If it's meant for you, God will move someone that's holding you back away from a door and put someone there who will open it for you. I don't know what your future is, but if you're willing to take the harder way, the more complicated one, the one with more failures at first than successes, the one that has ultimately proven to have more meaning, more victory, more glory, then you will not regret it. Press on with pride and press on with purpose and appreciate what God has brought you through.
I am back. Y'all let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if the audio is bad. But trust and believe, when I jump back up in here February 2nd, Baby, I'm gonna be ready. I'm gonna be ready, ready. And I hope y'all are ready too. Shout out to my big brother Will. Hey, brother. Uh, I see you doing your thing over there on TikTok. I'm so proud of you. Uh, Man, let me know when the ADHD hour is coming. No, the Black Male Podcast. Let me know when that's coming back, because I'm hyped. I'm ready. I'm ready to see you back on the camera. I'm ready for us to sit down and do our collaborations. Because, baby, when I tell y'all, when Black Girl Interrupted comes back in full effect, I got some hype conversations. I got some conversation that's going to shake the table, wake some people up, but we going to do the damn thing. But anyhow, y'all let me know how y'all are feeling. I'm still doing my mental health check-in. Again, it's so great to see you guys again. I've really missed y'all. I promise I've been away from the camera far too long, but I'm here. I'm back. And I'm ready. I'm ready to rock and roll. I'm ready to do the damn thing. Like, I'm ready. I'm ready. And I hope y'all are ready. I hope y'all are ready to get on this roller coaster ride with me, because it's about to get bumpy. So let me go ahead and let's jump into tonight's conversation. So tonight I'm talking about police brutality. Is this becoming an epidemic? I mean, every time, and I had to come back and I had to talk about this, because every time you turn on the news, it's always a case of police brutality. An unarmed Black man being gunned down at the hands of a police officer, and their primary excuse is, I was in fear of my life. So I want to keep this conversation going. I want to keep these types of conversations on the forefront, because what happens, and I see this far too often, when we get stories like this, we ride the wave for a little while until something else comes about, and then we forget about it until something happens again, but then we're complaining. But y'all aren't trying to be a part of the solution. So I want to keep these conversations like this going. So I want to jump into Lord have mercy. I want to talk about Tyre Nichols. Many of you know Tyre Nichols was a 29-year-old Black man out of Memphis, Tennessee, who was brutally beaten to death at the hands of 5 Black police officers. Let me take a deep breath, because y'all know how I am. Y'all know how I get when it comes to these situations. So here we go. Tyre Nichols was pulled over for allegedly driving very reckless. He got out of the car. He took off running. When they finally caught Tyre Nichols, they beat him for 3 minutes. They beat this young man for 3 minutes. Then they failed to render aid. Upon the end of the beating, they were telling him, oh, you need to sit up, sit up, sit up. He would fall down, sit up, sit up. And a few days after this happened, Tyre Nichols passed away. Trigger warning. Y'all know I always come with videos, but I want to go ahead and I want to play this video for you guys. Hold tight, and then we'll keep the conversation rolling.
A call for justice in Memphis, Tennessee over the death of Tyre Nichols. Tensions running high at a city council meeting demanding the immediate release of the police body camera footage from Nichols' arrest and for the officers to be charged with murder. Nichols was beaten by officers for 3 minutes on January 7th after they stopped him for reckless driving. Our Shimon Prokupez live in Memphis this morning with more. Shimon, good morning. Preliminary results of an autopsy were released. What are we learning now?
Right, that autopsy, Don, was done by the request of the family. The family did their own independent autopsy, and what they found, according to their attorney, Ben Crump, was that Tyre Nichols died from severe bleeding as a result of a beating. Now, Don, I want to take you out here to the scene. This is where it all started. This is the intersection that police say that Tyre Nichols was first stopped by police, and then he ran. There was a pursuit along this road here, all the way just about under a mile near where his mother lives, and that is where ultimately he would die, where investigators say police wind up catching up to him. And then something happened. And according to the family, which has viewed body camera footage, they say that he was beaten in that location, ultimately was taken to the hospital where he died. Now, Don, most of what we know about what happened here is not coming from the police. They have refused to release any information, basic questions to the police about, were these officers in uniform? What time exactly was Tyre Nichols taken to the hospital? All those questions have remained unanswered by the police. As we know, 5 officers were fired. 2 EMTs here were placed on leave as a result of this incident. And now we wait for the district attorney to make his decision on whether or not he's going to pursue charges. And of course, ultimately, that video, the body camera footage and other footage that police have done.
Can we talk, Shimon, about that emotional, right, fiery community meeting that happened last night? What are residents saying about the body cam not being released? They want it done out there.
Absolutely, they want it out. They want more information because the police have been refusing to give any information. So they want the body camera footage released. They want other information released. Take a listen at some of the community members who spoke at a city council meeting.
As you know, there was a murder that took place here on January the 7th, I believe. Mr. Tyre Nichols, he was murdered at the hands of the Memphis police. I am very upset with everybody on this city council because you are our representatives, you are our checks and balances, and not one of you have come out publicly and demanded that that tape that we paid $3 million, correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Wade, when we paid for the body cams, we, the taxpayers, paid for it. This is about transparency. And damn it, we gonna have it, or we need a refund on our tax dollars that we paid. The public wants to see what happened. We want to know, are we really employing people that think it's okay to beat the shit out of folks? What we heard before, we pay for these cameras. We want to see what is going on. Do I want to see the video? I don't know. I'm a mama too. So many of us are. We're brothers and sisters and children, sons and daughters. But what we do want to see is justice for Tyre and everyone else like him walking these streets.
And so, Don, now, this is all in the hands of the district attorney here. We're waiting to hear more from him. He says this video will come out once his investigation is complete, once they're done interviewing witnesses. He says the reason why they don't want to release it is because they don't want to in any way sway witness testimony. If they see this video, they may change their testimony, and that is the reason why this video has not been released. But I can tell you, community members certainly are not buying that. They want the information, they want the transparency that they certainly feel they're not getting. And so now, Don, we wait for the DA and ultimately what he decides in terms of charges for these officers.
And Shimon will be following this for us. Shimon, thank you very much.
Whew. So y'all looking at this video, being a taxpayer myself, I'm with the community. Why is it taking so long to release the body cam footage? This happened January the 6th, January the 7th. Today is the 25th. Tyre Nichols passed away January the 10th. Here we are 15 days later, and you still have yet to release the body cam footage. We need answers. Because as a taxpayer, if I'm paying for these officers that are supposed to serve and protect, we need some transparency. We need to know what happened. We need to know why this young man's life is over. We need answers. And I understand there's an investigation and things that have to take place prior to the footage being released to the public. But it's been 15 days. This happened January the 6th, January the 7th, the 6th, 7th. Between those days, I'm so sorry. And then Tyre Nichols passed away January the 10th. Why? This is really, Y'all know how I get. So I'm going to try to be relaxed and calm tonight because this is happening far too often. We just had a young man a few months ago, about a month or so ago, that passed away. Well, that died at the hands of the Los Angeles Police Department, was tased and died of cardiac arrest. We had another case in Los Angeles. Unarmed man walking down the street, killed by Los Angeles Police Department. This is happening far too often, and y'all are not making examples out of these police officers, and they need to be held accountable for killing unarmed black men and black women. Y'all complain, but y'all are not trying to be a part of the solution. I say this and I continue to say this. We are responsible for the judges, for the police chiefs, your superintendents. We're responsible for your local officials. You need to get up. You need to go down to these town hall meetings. You need to let your voices be heard. You need to start voting for these officials. Stop voting for them because they're black. You need to do your research. So when things like this happen, you know you've got the right person in position. So what can we do better as a community to help curtail police brutality? Let's talk about it tonight. So I got a comment. Hey, honey. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hey, my love. Let me take your name off this screen, baby, because they may be trying to find who you are. And stop disrupting me, babe. I'm trying to get back in my little zone. But no, but really though. Police brutality. I want to talk about this. Is this becoming an epidemic? Is this the new COVID-19? Because every year we see an influx of unarmed black men and black women that are being killed at the hands of police officers, and they're not being held accountable for it. Y'all remember the Dante Wright the Kim Porter that unalived Dante Wright and was only sentenced to 2 years in prison? 2 years. I don't think that's enough time. Although time will never bring your loved one back, but you need to be charged like a civilian. Hell, you got pedophiles and drug dealers that are getting more time than murderers. And that's a problem to me. That's a real big problem to me. I get in front of this camera, y'all, and I do these shows to advocate because I'm a mother of a black man and 2 black girls. Y'all know the story. My son has had an encounter with the police. But y'all are not holding these police officers accountable. And I'm not understanding why. They're getting away with this. Let's look at Breonna Taylor's case. The wall got more justice than Breonna Taylor. So you mean to tell me a wall is more than a human life? That's a problem to me. And I'm not understanding why y'all don't feel like this is an issue. You complain about it, you post about it and say, oh, this needs to stop, this needs to stop, this needs to stop. But what are you doing to become a part of the solution? See, now y'all about to crank me up now because I'm ready now. But we have to come and we have to collectively come together as a community because this could be your child that I'm sitting up here talking about. This could be your loved one, your cousin, your uncle, a niece, somebody, a brother, a sister, a child that I could be sitting up here discussing. So I want to know, is police brutality, is it becoming an epidemic? I'm going to be honest with you. I really feel like police brutality is now surpassing COVID-19. This is what is going to, then I hear people say, well, he shouldn't have ran. So you mean to tell me him running warranted death? That's bullshit. That's bullshit. I see the comments. Disgusting. He should have just complied. Philando Castile complied, and what happened? He still died. Trayvon Martin lost his life at the hands of someone that pretended to be a police officer. The saddest part of all of this, as I was going over this story, and I really kind of pondered, do I really want to talk about this? I don't want to talk about this. I really want to talk. So here I am tonight. I'm back. And I'm talking about police brutality. I want to know, let me know in the comments, do you believe that this is the epidemic? I mean, we can't even drive anywhere. We can't, you have to worry. And I'm sorry to be jumping all over the place, but we have to sit down and we have to have these conversations with our loved ones when they leave the house. If you get pulled over, make sure you keep your hands so they can see them. Pull your hoodie down. You know, be careful riding through certain neighborhoods at certain hours of the night. Don't make sure your tent ain't too dark on your car. Why? Why? Why do we have to have these conversations with our loved ones? Oh, BB says, I'm so proud of you. Welcome back, sis. Thank you. She said, we got some type of justice for George Floyd, but that wasn't enough. And I'm so glad you brought that up, because let me say this. Had Derek Chauvin not been found guilty in the murder of George Floyd, Minneapolis would have been on fire. They didn't want what happened in Atlanta, and that was the death of Rashad Brooks, where they started burning shit down. They didn't want that. So Minneapolis had to act quick. They had to say, you know, we got to get eviction, because the whole world saw what this man did to George Floyd. I don't care what George Floyd's background was. I don't care. That did not warrant a death sentence. So for anybody that sits and says, oh, he was this, he was that, but that did not warrant his life to be taken by a narcissistic, cocky, arrogant police officer that was sworn to protect and serve me, you, and everyone else in this world. So they had to get a conviction for George Floyd. The whole world saw the video. We all saw him kneeling on George Floyd's neck for almost 10 minutes. We saw that. We saw the cockiness. We saw the arrogance, even during the trial, because you guys know I covered the trial. No remorse. Even Derek Chauvin's mother, when she gave up to give her victim impact statement, you didn't even acknowledge the family. So justice, they had to get something for that. And then you had Dante Wright's murder trial not soon after we got the conviction of Derek Chauvin. They had to hold Kim Porter accountable. They just found Derek Chauvin guilty. Dante Wright was murdered a year after George Floyd. We got to do something. But to me, 2 years wasn't enough. And I really feel like, and I get it, you know, they can only punish them to the extent of the law per state. I get that. I totally understand that. But they lack the empathy of a parent that's lost a loved one, a child, cousin, brother, husband, wife, whatever the situation is. You lack that. While this person goes to prison, this family is left to go visit their loved one in the cemetery. Then we had the death of, prior to George Floyd, we had Breonna Taylor, who was in her house. They came and had a falsified warrant, and she ended up dead. But they gave the wall more justice than they did Breonna Taylor. Again, when are we going to start valuing human life? When are we going to start really holding these police officers accountable? When? When are we going to start becoming a part of the solution? When are we going to start saying, you know what, enough is enough? When are we going to get up off of our ass and go to these town hall meetings and start putting the correct people in position that you know could help get the job done. No, this is not a process that's going to happen overnight, but go and be a part of the solution. Because just sitting up here talking about it and you're not walking the walk, it's hypocrisy to me. Because again, this could be your loved one whose story that I'm talking about and bringing awareness to. And I do this again because I'm a Black woman in America, raising a Black son and 2 Black daughters that I have to have a conversation with when my children leave me. I pray when my babies walk out the door that my babies come back to me. I pray that I don't get a phone call that I have to go down to the morgue to identify one of my children's bodies because they died at the hands of the police officers. And don't jump, and let me say this while I'm talking about this. Don't jump on here talking about, well, we got Black on Black crime. Yeah, but let me say this. When it comes to Black on Black crime, when Mookie kills Ray Ray, and I say this all the time, Mookie gets arrested and Mookie goes to jail. When these police officers kill unarmed Black men and Black women, you know what? They get put on administrative leave, pending the investigation. Then it's up to the district attorney to decide whether or not they will pursue charges. So I want to get into that tonight, to the Black on Black crime, because that's going to be a whole nother conversation. But tonight I'm talking about police brutality, and is this becoming an epidemic? Back to what I was saying. Looking at this Tyre Nichols story, this case, it really disheartens me even more because these were 5 Black police officers that beat this young man for 3 minutes. 3 minutes. 3 minutes. We saw them kneeling, Chauvin kneeling on George Floyd's neck for 9 minutes, almost 10 minutes. I could just imagine what George Floyd was going through. Now we have Tyre Nichols, who was beat for 3 minutes as he begged and pleaded for his life, and was calling for his mother. Imagine you're being beat for 3 minutes. For what? Because you ran? Because you're afraid of the police? And that's the sad part of all of this. We no longer have trust and faith in the boys in blue. And what's even worse is it was 5 police officers, 3 of which beat Tyre Nichols, 2 of which stood by and did nothing. That's even more disheartening. Is that these 5 Black police officers who have been on the force for over 20 years, you see this is what's happening to us, and then you go and you do this to someone that looks just like you. The math ain't mathing to me. This, and I'm trying not to get upset. I'm trying to stay calm. I'm trying not to get so emotional. But this is what happened. You died these people are supposed to protect and serve. You killed this young man. For what? Over a traffic stop? Over a traffic stop. This is what we doing now? This is what we've been doubled down to do? Really? What happened to just writing your citation and you're sending them on their way? I don't understand. I want to play a video, and this is of the family of Tyre Nichols, as they describe what it was like watching the video of their child being beat for 3 minutes. And then we're going to jump back into the conversation.
Now to an update on the death of a 29-year-old black man in Memphis. His name was Tyre Nichols. His family says body cam video of a confrontation with police officers shows that the officers beat him for 3 minutes. Nichols was arrested earlier this month after a traffic stop, and this photo was taken in the hospital afterward. He died just days later. The Memphis Police Department says it fired 5 officers involved in the arrest for using excessive force and failing to render aid. Now, all 5 of the officers are black. Elise Preston is in Memphis, where she spoke with the Nichols family.
All I heard my son say was, "What did I do?" And I just lost it from there.
Tyre Nichols' mother, Ravon Wells, told us she could only watch some of the body camera video allegedly showing police beating her son.
I am so numb, and I'm just trying to wrap my head around all of this.
His family says Nichols was restrained, beaten, tased, and pepper sprayed by several Memphis police officers, while other officers stood by and did nothing to help.
I saw police brutality at its finest. I saw a helpless young black man being beat by several officers.
Memphis police pulled Tyre Nichols over on January 7th for reckless driving. They said when they approached him, there was a confrontation and he ran away. Police said when they caught up to him and tried to arrest him, there was a second confrontation. They said Nichols complained of shortness of breath and was taken to the hospital. That's where his father took this photo. It shows Nichols bloodied and bruised. He died days later. After seeing the body camera video, attorneys for the Nichols family compared it to the 1991 beating of Rodney King by Los Angeles police.
He was defenseless the entire time. He was a human pinata for those police officers. It was an unadulterated, unabashed, nonstop beating of this young boy for 3 minutes.
Oh my God.
The Nichols family is calling on the officers involved to face charges.
For them to beat my child the way they did, I mean, where's the humanity? You just beat him like a dog in the street.
That's heartbreaking.
Very heartbreaking.
Now, the Department of Justice has launched a civil rights investigation. The district attorney says video will be released to the public in the next 2 weeks once federal and state investigations are concluded. Tony?
I'm sure that video is going to be very tough to watch, the anguish there of Tyre's mother. Elise, thank you very much for that report.
Just a shot, Tony, of that picture of him in the hospital bed,
Bleeding out of his pillow.
Yeah, I don't know how you don't look at that and think excessive force.
Right.
The case is still, of course, under investigation, but just that one shot alone is so disturbing. One man against all those officers.
Mother said it best. Where's the humanity?
Where is the humanity?
Y'all, when I tell you, let me take 30 seconds. Because listening to the mother, when she said she heard her son continue to ask the police officers, well, what did I do? And then he was calling for his mother. Let me take about a 10 second, 15. Let me collectively get myself together, because I could just only imagine what this mother was thinking, this mother and father were thinking as they watched this video of their son. From the start of the traffic stop to the beating and eventually the death of their child. Whew. Just the thought of having to watch something like that, I don't think I could ever come back from anything like that. Because this mother and father are left to, this is what they're left to remember, is the brutality of their son's death. The reasoning behind their son's death. The cause at the hands of someone that took an oath and said, I'm here to serve and protect. But it seems to me y'all are serving, but y'all not protecting. And I won't say all police officers. I won't say all, because there are some good cops out here. There are some that really care about, they really value their job. They really value the civilians, the people of the community. They value that, So I won't say all police officers. I'm not going to put them all in one box. But I'm only speaking of the rogue police officers that do this, get away with this. They're not held accountable, and they're just shifted off and moved to another county, another area, another city, another state to work in. I don't understand that. You move them to do this to someone else. And the only reason I mentioned and I brought that up is because one of the police officers that is involved in this case was involved in another case back in 2016. So this is what I mean when I say, is this becoming an epidemic? Is this really becoming an epidemic? Why are you shuffling police officers around? You see these police officers, like, let me go back to Derek Chauvin for just a moment. He had been written up. He had been involved in another case where he had choked a young man for 3 minutes, I believe, but you still left him on the force. Now he murdered someone. Sometimes, babe, you got to cut the head off the snake. Could George Floyd's death have been prevented had they have held Derek Chauvin accountable for the teenager that he choked prior to the murder of George Floyd? We'll never know. We'll never know. So I want to know, my next question that I have posed for y'all. Why are we continuing to see an influx in these types of cases? Why? Let me show y'all. This is Tyre Nichols. Okay? Was a skater, was the father of a 4-year-old son, had never been in trouble. He went from this, and let me say this, trigger warning, to this. That's Tyre Nichols. That's Tyre Nichols. How did we go from here? He was a skateboarder, a father, again, had never been in trouble. How do we go from here to here? By these 5 gentlemen right here. These 5 gentlemen that had been on the force for over 20 years. One of them was involved in a police beating back in 2016, still on the force. Am I all for them being charged with murder? Absolutely. We may not get a conviction for first degree murder because, as you guys know, first degree murder is, it has to show some type of premeditation, like they premeditated this, and we know they didn't. You know, I believe that they pulled him over with the intent to murder Tyre Nichols. I don't believe they woke up and said, you know what, we're going to kill this young man today. I don't believe that. But I do believe they were very excessive. Reckless driving warrants a death sentence. Failure to utilize your turn signal warrants a death sentence. Driving without a seatbelt warrants a death sentence. Informing police officers that you have a weapon in the car and you're licensed to carry warrants a death sentence. Selling CDs in front of a store warrants a death sentence. I'm just giving y'all a list. A young man in Michigan last year that I talked about. Improper plates on the back of the vehicle, he ends up dead. A bullet to the back of the head. That warrants a death sentence. Sitting and eating ice cream in your house, chilling, relaxing, warranted a death sentence. I can go on and on and on and on and on. But I want to know, why are we seeing an influx in these types of cases? Why is this happening so often? So y'all, I'm reading and looking at statistics. Oh yeah. Oh, my sis Jewel, she says she's back like I never left. I'm proud of you, my sister. Thank you. Y'all, I'm here. I'm so excited. I miss y'all so much. BB says reaching for your wallet after being told to. That warrants a death sentence. Contrary to belief, y'all can sit and say Black people don't get killed at alarming rates by police officers. Yes, we do. Do you realize, see, and I tell people all the time, you can argue with me all day, but you can't argue with numbers. Statistics. Blacks only make up 27% of the population. Only 27% of the population. That's not a very big percentage. 42% have been murdered at the hands of police officers. I know it doesn't make sense. Being mentally ill, does that warrant a death sentence? We see a lot of those. So my question still remains. Why do we continue to see an influx in these types of cases? You want to know why? Because a lot of these police officers are power hungry. Were bullied in school. So now they get a little gun, a little badge. Now you want to be the big bag man. Yeah. You may have had a bad day, so now you want to take it out on somebody. Then you have these police officers that are being told to target unarmed Black men and Black women, particularly between the ages of 20 and 24. They're being told. This is what they're training police officers to do. Not all, but some. Shoot first and ask questions later. Rashad Brooks fell asleep in a drive-thru at Wendy's, was drunk, was parked. Sister lived down the street. You could have let him call his sister to come pick him up. You shot him in the back. But now if he were white, you probably would have called him an Uber to go home. I said it, and I did. You probably would have let him call a family member. You know what? We'll let you call your family member. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So seeing an influx in these types of cases is sickening to me. Very sad, very disturbing. And I'm tired of seeing it. I'm tired of every time I turn on the news, unarmed black men killed at the hands of the police. And police say, oh, I was in fear of my life. But you're the one with the gun and the badge. So what are you afraid of? A lot of you police officers walk up to the car with your hand already on the gun. You're creating fear. You come to the situation, you're in certain situations already on 10. You already come hostile. And I don't understand. I don't understand. So y'all, so I was reading, and this is per The Guardian as of January 6, 2023. So y'all, it says, in 2022, 132 killings, 11% were cases in which no offense was alleged. 104 cases, which is 9%, were mental health or welfare checks. Y'all know I stay talking about that. I really wish they would do better with that. I really wish they would stop sending police officers that have no training of how to deal with a person that's going through a mental health crisis. Stop sending them to these situations. But we'll save that conversation for another day. Then you have 98, which is 8%, involved traffic violations. And then 207, which is 18%, which involved other allegations of violent offenses. There were also 93 cases, 8%, involving claims of a domestic disturbance, and 128, which is 11%, where the person was allegedly seen with a weapon. Only 370, which is 31%, involved a potentially more serious situation with an alleged violent crime. And these are police killings. And this is per The Guardian as of January 6, 2023. Yeah. We don't make up a very big percentage. But yet a lot of us are dying at the hands of unarmed police officers. And you bat an eye when you see it, you get in an uproar. Oh my God, we got to do something. But yet you don't be about it. See, I'm the type of person, I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to walk the walk. I'm going to talk the talk and walk the walk. You could ask my children. When George Floyd was murdered, we went downtown and we protested. We marched. I was prepared to go to jail that day. So what can we do as a community? That's a question that I pose is, what do we do? And it takes me back to who is mostly affected by police brutality. People that look like me and you. I'm not saying it doesn't happen to whites or Asians, but it's always the blacks and browns. Always. But more so the blacks. And again, you can argue with me all you want, but baby, you can't argue with numbers. You can't argue with stats. I went to, let me pull up the website and I'm going to tell you. I went to, it is called Mapping Police Violence. Y'all can look it up. It's mapping. Let me see if I posted the link. I thought I put it up here for you guys, but maybe I didn't. I'm so sorry. But it's called Mapping the Police Violence. It was last updated, I believe, New Year's Eve of 2022. New Year's Eve 2022. And it says Black people are 2.9% more likely to be killed by police than white people. Yeah. See, white people go and they act the damn fool. They could run up and like they gonna stab the police and nothing happens. They go to jail unscathed. But the people that look like me and you, unfortunately, a lot of us don't make it home. And if we do, it's through the hospital. So again, and this was as of December 31st. No, I'm so sorry. Let me correct myself because I don't want to give you incorrect information. But this was as of November 15th, 2022. That Black people are 2.9% more likely to be killed by police than white people in the U.S. So all the people that say, oh no, it happens to us too. Yeah, we know it happens to you, but not as much as it happens to people that look like me. We have to have these conversations with our children and make sure that our babies make it home to us in one piece. We have to have the talk. They pull you over, make sure they can see your hands at all times. Don't make any sudden moves. You're complying, you're still dying. And the saddest part in all of this is this young man, Tyre Nichols, who was just killed. His death has now been compared to the beating of Rodney King. Y'all remember that, 1992? The beating of Rodney King and those police officers. And at that time, that's when social media was not as prevalent as it is now. But they recorded it. And all those police officers got off. They beat Rodney King. Then you have the LAPD police officer, Christopher Dorner, who witnessed police brutality, told on his counterpart, and the counterpart had no repercussions, and Christopher Dorner lost his job. Hence, he went on a killing spree. I'm not trying to promote violence, but when is America going to wake up? When they start fighting back and start unaliving police officers? I really don't want it to get to that point. I really do not want it to get to that point. But with the way people are thinking, the mentality now, we saw it with Christopher Dorner. We saw that. We saw it with, I cannot remember his name, but he was a state trooper, a police officer in Louisiana, who spoke out about this and committed suicide afterwards. When is enough going to be enough? When are we really going to sit down and say, we got to take a stance on this? This has got to stop. When? When it's knocking at your door? We need to be vigilant and we need to be proactive, which leads me into what do we do now? What do we do? What do we do? What can we do? What must we do? What do we have to do? We got to take back control. This has got to stop. This is unacceptable. Knowing that we sit back and we watch and we see this happen and we talk about it for the moment until something else comes across the TV screen, and then we've completely forgotten about Tyre Nichols. But I will never forget. I'll never forget Alton Sterling, Sandra Bland, Tatiana Jefferson, the police officer that killed her. The trial just ended about a month ago, a few weeks ago. He was found guilty, but I do not believe he's been sentenced yet. I will look into that, so I'll get y'all the information on that. Alton Sterling, Philando Castile, Tamir Rice, Oscar Grant, Sean Bell, Amadou Diallo. The list goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on. And it's consistently happening. And we talk about it. But when are we going to sit down and try to come to a solution? We need to have a solution before this is knocking at your door. We need to have a solution before you're encountered with this issue. I encourage you, get up, go to these town hall meetings, go allow your voices to be heard. Stop voting for people you know nothing about. I'm down here in Houston, and we got a whack-ass governor who, and I'm for the Second Amendment, right? And it's not the guns that kill people, it's the people behind the guns. So I'm worried about that. I'm worried about my safety. I'm worried about your safety. I'm worried about my children's safety. Because I don't want to be sitting in front of this camera telling your story. That's one thing I don't want to do. I don't want to be telling your story. I don't. So I encourage you, when these elections roll around, get up and go. When you get the emails or the letters in the mail about these town hall meetings, go. Learn about your public officials. Educate yourself on them. Stop voting for, and I'm gonna say this and say this and say this. Stop voting for them because they're black. Because all kinfolk ain't kinfolk. Tyre Nichols, prime example. Prime example. But before we jump into this, let me play this last video about one of the police officers that's involved in this Tyre Nichols case, who was in another beating case back in 2016. Hold tight, here we go. And then we're going to jump back into the conversation because I got some beautiful things I want to talk to y'all about.
We're getting more insight into the history of one of the former Memphis police officers involved in the arrest of Tyre Nichols. Demetrius Haley is one of 5 officers that have been fired from the department following Nichols' arrest and death. This afternoon, another man claims he was beaten by Haley. WRAG's Shay Arthur is live with that information. Shay?
Yeah, these allegations come from a lawsuit from several years ago where a man claims that he was beaten by Haley so bad he passed out.
Justice for Tyre! Justice for Tyre!
Before these chants,
Justice for Tyre! Justice for Tyre!
a now former inmate at the Shelby County Corrections Center claims he too was beaten by the same officer, now fired following the death of Tyre Nichols. The case goes back to 2016 when he filed a federal lawsuit against Demetrius Haley, who worked at the Corrections Center. The handwritten lawsuit claims officers came in for a random search after believing they saw smoke coming from the area. The man alleged he was strip searched in a restroom by Haley and another officer while a sergeant supervised. He claims the officers told him he tried to flush contraband. going on to say Haley and another officer punched him in the face, at one point saying the other officer picked him up and slammed him face first into a sink, then to the floor. After that, he passed out, waking up in a medical unit. In 2018, a judge dismissed the case, citing failures by the plaintiff, not submitting necessary information when requested. According to Memphis police, Haley was hired in August of 2020. For now, it's unclear what his role was in the incident earlier this month that landed Tyre Nichols in the hospital and later dead. MPD announced Haley had been terminated last week. And Alex, April, we have requested Haley's files from when he worked for Shelby County as well as the city of Memphis. Right now, we are waiting to hear back. We're live downtown tonight. Shay Arthur, WREG, News Channel 3.
So here you go. And my apologies for saying the incorrect date, incorrect year 2018. This has happened before. And this is what I mean when I say they sweep these cases under the rug. And this could have been prevented. This has allegedly happened to someone else, but was dismissed. So now here we are, 5 years later, Tyre Nichols. Tyre Nichols. Here we are today. Let me take this in. Because this is a lie. This is a lie. This is a whole lie. This police officer has been accused of this before. You were left to do it again. Now this young man, his life is over. They've now been relieved of their duties, fired. So now we're just waiting to see if they're going to be charged with murder. We already know it can't be first degree. We know this. Anyone that knows the law, we know this cannot be first degree. Because it wasn't premeditated. Again, and I'm going to go back and I'm going to say this again. I just do not believe that they woke up with the intent to go and murder this young man. I don't believe they woke up like that with the intent to do that. And of course, you know, that has to be proven in a court of law. But they are culpable in the murder of this young man. Very culpable. This young man was beat for 3 minutes, y'all. 3. Imagine what was going through Mr. Nichols' mind as these police officers who have taken an oath, let me remind y'all, that have taken an oath to protect and serve. And this is who takes your life. Someone that we grew up and we were taught we were supposed to trust the police because the police was supposed to keep us safe. It's incidents like this why we don't have faith and trust not only in the police, but our judicial system. Incidents like this. Of course, there are other incidents that, you know, have caused us to lose trust, but this just deepens it. This just heightens the less trust that we have. Because every time we get pulled over, your anxiety goes through the roof. You start shaking, you're sweating. Because all you're thinking in that moment is, am I going home? Is this officer going to do me the way they did Sandra Bland? Is this officer going to do me the way they did Alton Sterling? This is what you're thinking when you're pulled over. And then when you see them walking up and they already got their hand on their gun, heightens your anxiety even more. Even more. So you have to renew our faith and trust in y'all by protecting us. You have to renew our faith and our trust in the boys in blue by speaking up on police brutality. If you see this, see, you remaining silent, and I'm speaking to police officers. Remaining silent, you're watching this, you're witnessing this, and you do nothing to stop this, you're just as guilty as the person that's actually committing the crime. And again, I'm not going to say all police officers are bad, because there are some good ones. There are some good police officers out here that really do care, again, and I'm going to say this over and over again, that really do care about the community, that really don't want to have to use excessive force, that really just want to write you your ticket and send you on your way. But then you have some that are assholes and just choose to be an asshole that day for no reason. You do have some police officers that provoke and incite the situation sometimes. Not all, but some. So what do we do now? Do we start being proactive? And I want to first apologize for not having any information available for y'all about how to go to your city, your town hall meetings and vote for your city electives. But trust and believe, y'all, next time we have a show like this, I'm gonna have my I's dotted and T's crossed. I promise y'all. Bear with your girl, okay? Y'all know, again, I haven't been in front of the camera in months, so I'm trying to get my groove back. Stella trying to find her groove, y'all. I'm trying to get back into the wave of things. But this has to stop. Our lives are so valuable, so precious. I don't want to do a show and I'm speaking on you or maybe even one of your loved ones. I want us to start working together as a community, as a people, as a community, as a village, to bring some sort of change. Because it pains me every time I do these stories. Every time I have to sit in front of this camera and discuss this. Which takes me into my final thoughts. Police brutality. Where do I even begin? Looking at this story and going back over other prior episodes that I've done in regards to police brutality, it's so disheartening to me. But I really feel like I wouldn't be doing my due diligence if I didn't bring it to the light and bring it to the forefront. I really wouldn't feel like I would be doing my due diligence if I didn't get out and I didn't advocate for me and for you. When I do these stories, y'all, I think about my own children. I think about my fiance. I think about my stepchildren, my soon to be stepchildren. I think about my step grandchildren, I think about all of that. I think about my sisters. I think about my brothers. I think about the people that I interact with daily on social media. Could this be y'all? Will this be y'all? that I one day would have to sit up here and tell your story, that I have to get up here and I have to advocate and I have to rally for you. Will I have to do this? Will I have to one day get up here and advocate for myself because something has happened to one of my children? Absolutely, I'm not wishing this on my children or anyone else's child or any other person for that matter, but I really wouldn't feel like I was doing my due diligence if I didn't bring awareness. We see this constantly. And every day we're left to wonder, will this be my baby next? Will we see justice? Will we get justice? Will justice ever prevail? We see this on a regular. So again, I say all that to say, I'm going to keep fighting. I'm going to keep rallying. I'm going to keep advocating, not only for me and my family, but you and your family. I'm going to get out and I'm going to march. I'm going to protest. I'm going to make sure my voice is heard, regardless if it matters to you or to them. But I will be doing my due diligence to fight for you and to make sure you make it home safe to your families, that they get to see you and hug and love on you, not coming to a cemetery. Enough is enough. I'm absolutely tired of reading and hearing about this. It takes me back to the Rodney King case and every other African American male and female that has died at the hands of police officers, and they haven't been held accountable. So I'm going to keep doing what I do. I'm going to keep speaking. I'm going to keep allowing my voice to be heard. I'm going to keep allowing God to utilize my voice to bring awareness, whether it's police brutality, whether it's relationships, whatever it is. I'm going to continue to allow God to utilize me for that because that's my purpose. And I had to learn that. I got a comment, y'all. So someone says, glad to see you back in front of the camera. I love you, babe. Y'all, that's my California king. Yeah, my honey bun. I just had that conversation with him and told him, stop going to the store, stop stopping at the store so late at night. Do all you need to do on the weekends when you're off, because I don't need a phone call that something has happened to him. I don't need that. My heart wouldn't be able to take that, y'all. Lord have mercy. Y'all have to wheel me on up to the upper room, Lord. Y'all, something happened to my man and my children, my stepchildren, my step-grandchildren. Lord, y'all have to go and take me to the upper room. That's where y'all gonna have to take me. Y'all gonna have to roll me on to Jesus, baby. I promise you. I think tonight was a good show. Minus the technical difficulties, but I promise y'all, Tuesday I'm gonna be ready. I'm gonna be locked, loaded, and ready, baby. I'm coming back and I'm excited. I can't wait. So I do want to talk about the upcoming episodes for Black Girl Interrupted. As you know, y'all about to be sick of me. Let me just go ahead and put this out here, baby. Y'all gonna be sick of me. Because, baby, I'm gonna be promoting and pushing this podcast like Fashion Nova, be sending texts to you every day. But I got some great episodes, great conversations that are coming. I'm coming back with a vengeance. I'm coming back to shake the table. Got a lot of collaborations on the table that I'm excited. So let me say this. I'm so excited about these collaborations that I have. I'm so excited about the connections that I've made. I actually have connected with Neffy, which is Keisha Cole's sister. Hoping to get her on one of my shows with me, hoping me and her can connect as my stag sis. So y'all keep your fingers crossed on that one. And just some other beautiful things that I have going on for Black Girl Interrupted. Like I said, I'm so happy. I'm so excited to be back. It feels great to be back in front of the camera. And like I said, we're going to get into all of that next week, when I come back, when I am officially back. Because I want to tell y'all where I've been and where I am and where I'm going, Y'all have loved on me. Y'all have supported me. Y'all have nurtured me on my journey. Y'all have been patient with me. So it's time for me to pour that love back into y'all. Of course, we are going to have some episodes where, we are going to be a little sad, but it's going to be conversations that absolutely need to be had. So I'm looking forward to coming back February 2nd. Of course, I will be back again every Tuesday, every Thursday night, 8 p.m. Central Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. I am on YouTube. Excuse me. You can find me on Facebook. I'm on Twitter. Y'all, I still frequent Clubhouse. I am on TikTok. My podcast is available on all streaming platforms. While I'm up here, shout out to my good sis, Miss Tommy, that I got to meet yesterday on TikTok. We had a great conversation last night. So we're looking to do a lot of great collaborations. Babe, your sister is talking to you, babe. There go your sister right there, honey. Your big sister. Get her. Because she going to the top with us too. So shout out to my girl Tony. Girl, we had a 4-hour conversation. Congratulations to you on your radio spot. I'm looking forward to collaborating with you. We are actually putting some things together. We are gonna designate a day through the week or maybe the weekend where we are going live on TikTok, and we're just gonna be talking about any and everything. So y'all hold tight for that. But I did, like I said, Miss Tony, I wanted to shout you out because I appreciate that 4-hour y'all. We had a 4-hour conversation. It was a beautiful conversation. It was just a conversation about encouragement, about empowerment, about uplifting. We got raw and direct in our conversations, but I appreciate God placing you in my path to help encourage and push me along on my journey. I'm so glad to see the beautiful things that me and you come up with that we are able to present to the world for the people to see, because we have already spoken to existence that this podcasting thing is going to be full-time, not just a hobby, but it will now be full-time. So that's what we're pushing to do. So thank you, Miss Tony, for the beautiful words last night. Thank you so much for the encouragement. I can't even thank you enough, and I can go on and on and on and on and on. But I will keep you guys updated and let you guys know on the date and the time that we will be going live on TikTok. So please follow me on TikTok. It is under Black Girl Interrupted. I'll have to get you guys Miss Tony's. Hold up, let me pull up her TikTok. Oh, honey, let me pull up her TikTok so I could give you her name so you guys can follow her. She is based in Atlanta, and it must have been meant for me and her to cross paths yesterday because she's got a beautiful story. And we're just here. We're gonna make some shit happen. We come and shake the table. We coming to do the damn thing for 2023. So everything 2022 didn't give me, I'm coming to get in 2023. I'm claiming it, I'm speaking it, and it's gonna happen for me. Also do want to let you know my website is up. Y'all forgive me, y'all. I'm so excited, that I got back in front of the camera because I really missed y'all. I've really put my blood, sweat, and tears into coming back and doing my show for y'all. So I'm excited. I can't wait for y'all to see what I got planned. Again, I can't thank y'all enough for just loving on me the way that you guys do. I can't thank y'all enough for being patient with me, for even understanding everything that I was going through. I appreciate y'all for just everything that y'all do. I appreciate y'all for loving, for liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing. Oh God, I thank y'all so much for that. But I do want to say my website is officially up. So all you have to do is just go type in Black Girl Interrupted Podcast. It will take you directly to my website. Um, oh God, y'all just don't even know how blessed I am, how grateful I am to be where I am today. And like I said, we're gonna get more into that next Tuesday. But I did want to let y'all know my website is up. Um, I will be uploading episodes every week. You can even go on the website. I have a few episodes uploaded. Um, if you want to catch up on some of the past episodes, you could actually go on YouTube, just type in Black Girl Interrupted, and of course, it will pop up. Again, I'm on TikTok, I'm on all the streaming platforms. But again, y'all, I didn't mean to get emotional, but I really wanted to just say thank you to everybody that has supported me along the way through the ups, the downs, the highs, the lows. I'm very appreciative of that. I just oh God, y'all just don't even know. Oh my God, y'all, there is my brother, Big Low. Oh my God. Let me take a moment to shout you out real quick, Big Low, because I have been watching you from afar. And little brother, you are doing the damn thing. If you guys are football fans, you know what? Not just football, but sports. Period. Y'all tap in with Big Low Country Sports. He is on YouTube. Tap in with him. Go show him some love. Go subscribe. When I tell you, I remember when he first started into doing this, when he was with a whole nother group and he was scared to step out and do this on his own. I poured into him and I told him, Big Low, you could do this. And now Big Low is doing big things out there in Atlanta. So I'm so proud of you, Big Low. Keep doing what you're doing. Please, please keep doing what you're doing. I couldn't be more proud of you. But like I said, shout out to everyone that tapped in with me tonight. Um, I'm forever grateful. Um, I'm humbled, and I just can't wait for you guys to see what's going on. For Black Girl Interrupted, Big Low says, much love, my sister. Love you. Thank you. You and Coach Roney. Give my girl lots of love, lots of hugs. And just let me know who's bringing the hot wings for Super Bowl, because both of our teams is on the couch. We went before you did, and then y'all came right after us. But just let me know who's bringing the hot wings. But y'all don't forget, like I said, if you guys love sports, please tap in with Big Low Country Sports. He's very unbiased when it comes to sports. Yes, y'all, he is a Falcons fan, but hey, I'll overlook that because that's been my boy from day one. He believed in me, encouraged me, and here we are. I'm back. But I'm not gonna hold y'all any longer. But again, yes, I know. Thank you, Big Low. Thank you to you and Coach Roney. I am ecstatic and excited to be back. Like I said, beautiful conversations coming for Black Girl Interrupted. A lot of collaborations that are going to be going down. But again, go check out my website. There it is. Just go to www.blackgirlinterruptedpodcast.com. Send me a message. If you ever want to be a guest on Black Girl Interrupted, oh y'all, please send me an email at blackgirlinterrupted1@gmail.com. Please allow me 24 to 72 hours to get back to you. That way I could set up a Zoom or a Google Meet meeting where we could discuss any conversations that you would love to be a part of. But I wanted to put that out there. But I just want to end the night by saying, whatever happened to you in 2022, leave in 2022. Shoot for the stars. Don't let anyone stand in your way. Don't let anything deter you from your dream, from your hopes and your dreams. Step out on faith. You got it. Don't ever let anyone tell you what you can't do, because let me tell you something. Through the grace of God, you could do anything. Man may say no, but God says yes. And I just want to leave you guys on that note. Oh God, I love you guys. I love you. I look forward to seeing y'all next Tuesday, Same time, same place, 8 p.m. Central Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Let me know. Tap in with your girl. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Tell a friend, bring a friend, get a friend. I don't care what you do, but I'll see y'all next Tuesday. Love, 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 love y'all. And y'all be safe tonight. God bless.